what's the difference between 5070 Ti on this Zephyrus laptop compared to this Strix G16 laptop? Let's compare. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Binosha Tech channel. I'm Amin Khaliqi, and today I'm going to compare these two laptops because this Zephyrus laptop has 5070 Ti with lower TGP, I mean 125 watts, compared to this ASUS Strix series with a full 140 watts TGP. First, I should note that this laptop right here has Intel Core Ultra 9 285H processor, and this Strix laptop has Intel Core Ultra 9 275HX. The CPU difference is a bit too high because we can't fit 275HX processor in this thin and light chassis. And anyway, if you want to buy this kind of thin and light chassis laptops, you're gonna sacrifice on the both CPU and GPU. So let's talk about physical differences. The weight is the main difference here, and the dimensions of these both laptops. I mean, the Zephyrus lineup has almost a kilogram lighter chassis compared to Strix series, and other than that, this laptop can't be upgraded to any amount of RAM because the RAM is soldered on the motherboard at only 32 gigabytes of LPDDR5X or 64. 64 gigabytes is good for this year. I mean, it is more than enough. But if you want to buy a laptop at this price range, you should buy it at least with 32 gigabytes. On the other hand, on the Strix lineup, you can upgrade your RAM up to 96 gigabytes of RAM, which is great. And as for the SSD upgrade, both laptops support 2 SSD storage slots, which is good. After all that, let's talk about benchmarks. We tested some benchmarks in both laptops. First, I will talk about the CPU differences because these laptops are similar on paper, but they are not similar on the performance they are giving to you. I mean, in Cinebench R23 in Zephyrus, we got more than 21,000 scores, which is good, but in Strix G16, we got more than 34,000 scores. The difference is just huge, more than 30% to even 40% difference. And for the Cinebench 2024, we got more than 1100 scores on the multi-core and more than 1900 on the multi-core for the Strix G16, which can just show you how powerful the Strix can be. We also tested Time SPY in both laptops, and in Time SPY we got almost 15,000 scores on the Zephyrus and more than 17,000 on the Strix G16, which is expected to see because 5070 Ti and 275HX is a lot more powerful than 5070 Ti at 125 watts on the Zephyrus and Intel Core Ultra 9 285H. We also tested ST Nomad in both laptops, and we have almost 20% performance difference between these two laptops, and Strix G16 obviously is more powerful. We also tested Adobe applications in both laptops, and as you can see on the screen, the Strix G16 performed a little better, about 20 seconds better render time, and it is almost the same story for Adobe After Effects. We got 4 minutes and 27 seconds on Zephyrus and 3 minutes and 51 seconds on the Strix G16. About Blender, we got almost 4900 score on the Zephyrus and 5400 on the Strix G16. I mean, the difference between these laptops on GPU intensive applications are a lot higher than I expected. As for the gaming, we tested Cyberpunk 2077 in both laptops in 6 different scenarios, and as you can see on the screen, Strix G16 performed almost 20 to 30% better in Cyberpunk 2077. We also tested Rainbow Six Siege in both laptops, and in this test too, we got 20 to 30% better results. And I think we have to say that if you want to game on your laptop, you shouldn't go with Zephyrus. You should go with a laptop with full 140 watts TGP of 5070 Ti. We also tested Fragpunk in both laptops, and I can say it is easily the win for the Strix G16 because the CPU on the Strix G16 is a lot more powerful than Zephyrus G16. We also tested Red Dead Redemption in both laptops, and in Red Dead 2 the performance was 20%, almost 20% better on the Strix G16, and it's the same story for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and again the same story for Vulkan. As for the Marvel Rivals, we can see the performance difference is a bit higher on some scenarios, but it's almost the same story, and it is safe to say that if you want to game on your laptop, you should not think about buying a Zephyrus laptop. Or if you want to buy a Zephyrus laptop, at least expect having lower frame rates, because 5070 Ti at full 140 watts DGP is a lot more powerful, and these laptops are made for gaming. But these kind of laptops are made for content creation or that kind of workloads. So what's the verdict? I have to say, if you want to buy a laptop based on your needs, you have to choose between portability and performance. Or should I say battery life, portability, and all in all, a content creation powerhouse or a gaming powerhouse. If you are focused on gaming, you have to buy a full wattage 140 watts 5070 Ti. But if you don't, and you don't need to game a lot, and you don't care about your frame rates, I think Zephyrus G16 is a good choice too. But don't be fooled by 5070 Ti on this laptop, because we're gonna compare 5070 Ti at this amount of wattage against ASUS TUF A16 with 5070 at full wattage. And in that review, we got interesting numbers to show you. What do you think about these laptops? You will go with Zephyrus for battery life or better portability, or with the Strix because of more FPS? Tell us in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!